This is crazy. This is crazy. This is crazy.
Everywhere you turn, it's the same old sports talk, the same headlines, the same news, and the same boring information. This podcast is here to change all of that. We bring you hot sports takes, winning sports betting strategy and picks, reliable gaming industry news, and breaking interviews with some of the biggest names in sports business. My name is Ryan Newpel, and welcome to the Noop Sports Show. Hey, what's going on, sports fans? This is Ryan. I'm with my co-host Rodney. We're with noopsports.com, and we're here to talk some NFL Week number 5. Rodney, you with me?
Yeah, what's going on?
Hey, not much. Excited to be here once again, back at it. I know you just got done with the college podcast earlier today with Tom. Now I'm excited to talk some NFL with you. You're a busy man.
Yeah, looking forward to it. It was about 12 hours ago, so I could talk sports every 12 hours. That'd be fine.
Yeah, exactly. So NFL, we got another good slate coming up. We have a Thursday game. First, let's talk a little bit about last week. So last week was kind of a, different week. Had some upsets, had some good things that happened. But first of all, I wanted to give you props because we did our quick picks. I tallied up the results, and you won. So you win week 1, or week 4, I guess. But guess what? The bad news was you got 8 of 15. I got 7 of 15. So we suck.
Yeah. I mean, some of them I liked a little bit more than others. So maybe the ones I really liked, those are all the ones I got right.
There you go. And I guess it's you're picking with the spread, so getting 50% of them is about where you should be. You want to be about 60% actually. So 8 of 15 is pretty close to that.
Yeah, and I don't know very many people that bet all 15 NFL games.
No, exactly. But anyway, so you got a 1-up lead on me. I wish we would have done that from the very beginning, but that's okay. So good job.
All right, I'm ready to roll. I'm ready to go. I'm 2 in a row. Sounds good.
All right. So this week, 4 teams on bye. We got Jacksonville on bye, Kansas City, New Orleans, and Seattle. So keep that in mind when you're doing your your DFS, especially. When you're making some betting, obviously those won't be on the board, but those teams are off the board. Season-long fantasy, make sure you get those players out of your lineups this week. So let's jump right in. We got Thursday night. So Thursday night we got Arizona at San Francisco this week. Arizona's really been struggling this year. I think surprising a lot of people the way they've been struggling. So both teams come in with a 1-3 record. San Francisco is 3.5-point dogs on the road. Where are you going with this game, Rod?
Well, no Carson Palmer for the Cardinals in this game, and that's a big loss for Arizona. They have Drew Stanton should be their starting quarterback, and Carson Palmer hasn't been very good this year, but Drew Stanton's not any better. Oh man, I don't know. This is going to be a difficult game to pick because I'm not sure how bad San Francisco is. They're pretty bad, but I'm not sure how bad. The 3.5, I kind of like San Francisco. I think they might have a chance to cover this game. 63% of the country like Arizona. I think I'm going to go with San Francisco just because I'm not real sure what the quarterback situation is going to be like in Arizona.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of a sucker for home teams getting points. I always like that situation. I do think San Francisco has the defense that they can shut down Arizona, especially with a backup quarterback. But on the flip side, I mean, Arizona's been struggling. Carson Palmer hasn't been all that good. So, could we have the same kind of situation we had with I hate to compare Arizona to the Chicago Bears, but to the Chicago Bears, they bring in a backup quarterback because Cutler got hurt. And look what they did. They got a win, and Hoyer seemed to play pretty well. So maybe we'll have a similar type of a spark from Arizona with their backup quarterback. I don't know. I mean, he's on the road. I'm leaning San Francisco as well, but I could see Arizona playing well in this game and winning. Well,
Arizona is a team that was a Super Bowl pick of many, and they are 1-3. They cannot fall to 1-4. They cannot. They could possibly be 3 games behind the Rams and possibly 3 games behind Seattle, although Seattle doesn't play. But yeah, I mean, Arizona really feels like I really feel like Arizona has a lot of pressure to win this game. So keep that in mind. But I think the 3 to 3.5 points. I think you got to go with San Francisco at home.
Okay, let's move on. We're not going to cover every game today. We're going to pick and choose, some good primetime games and some games that people may have their eye on, and then at the very end we'll do our quick picks through everything. So don't worry, we'll give you our picks for them all, but we're not going to talk every single one of them and kind of bore you all with that. So we're going to go to New England at Cleveland, and the only reason I'm bringing this one up is one reason and one reason only. Tom Brady's back. Everybody seems to be excited about that. Everybody's talking about Tom Brady. They're 10.5-point favorites on the road at Cleveland. You know, he's coming back in a good situation. Cleveland hasn't won yet, but they've been playing tight games. You know, are they going to just absolutely smash Cleveland in this one, or can Cleveland hang?
Well, I know I would like the 10.5 points here, but boy, Cleveland's not very good, and you know they seem to be getting progressively worse. Actually, Isaiah Crowell is actually their best player right now, and you know he's just okay. But you're right; they had a 5-point loss and a 6-point loss back-to-back weeks in week 2 and week 3, coming off 11-point loss at the Redskins. I think New England's probably going to roll in this game. I mean, Tom Brady is back. He might be a little bit rusty, but you know it's still Tom Brady. And the Patriots are ticked. I mean, they lost last week. I can't see them losing 2 in a row, and I don't even know if it'll be close. I'll take New England by 2 touchdowns on the road in this one.
Yeah, I think I'm with you on that. I like Brady. I mean, there's been, you know, he's going to have a chip on his shoulder. He just is. He wasn't happy that he wasn't playing in the first place. You know, Gronk hasn't been doing well. I know he hasn't been playing much, but he hasn't really been clicking with all these quarterbacks that are coming in. I see those two connecting several times. Edelman's going to be back to his normal self. Things are going to go well for New England, and I like them to absolutely steamroll Cleveland in Cleveland. I just don't think there's anything Cleveland can do about it. I mean, they're getting points at home, but who cares? I don't think it matters. I like New England to really bounce back from being shut out last week. And speaking of that, shut out. I mean, would that surprise you at all last week?
A little bit, but I mean, I think we finally saw the Jacoby Brissett that he is. He's still Jacoby Brissett. I mean, he's not a very good quarterback, and you know, I was surprised they got shut out. I'm not necessarily shocked they got beat. You know, after their first 3 weeks, I think we just thought, well, they're just rolling without Brady, and I think we're going to find out that they're going to need Brady a little bit more, and the system still works, but shocked by this. Not terribly surprised by them getting beat. Now, the thing on Gronk is he's only caught 1 pass all season, but you're right. They're easing him back in for Brady. I have no doubt about it. They're easing him back in. He's been doing a lot of blocking as a tight end. I look for him to catch a few balls this week, and you're right. New England rolls in this game.
Well, yeah, they need him to block when you have inexperienced quarterbacks that maybe aren't getting the ball out as quick as Brady can. So, I expect things to be back to normal, full back to normal for New England. Okay, let's move on to another pretty big game. We got 3-1 Houston at 4-0 Minnesota. So Minnesota's hosting Houston. Minnesota's 6-point favorites in this game. Minnesota's surprising a lot of people. They just took care of the Giants, right, on Monday Night Football.
Yeah, beat them pretty easily.
They beat them pretty easily. Looked really good. Houston's 3-1. What do you think?
Well, Minnesota at the beginning of the year was one of those teams I wasn't sold on, but after beating Green Bay, Carolina, and the Giants, and doing all three in fairly easy fashion, I'm pretty sold on Minnesota right now. I mean, they just continue to be really good. 5-0 against the spread against teams with winning records. 8-0 against the spread in their last 8 games at home versus a team with a winning record. I mean, their spreads look really good, and maybe it's time to buy in. Now, the thing about this game is these two teams are a lot alike. Not a great quarterback. Both their running backs have been a little banged up. Now, Lamar Miller's pretty good, and he's had a good start to the season, but their defenses are tremendous. 6 points is a lot. I think Houston can compete in this game and keep it close. Minnesota's not a team that will just completely outscore you, so I think Minnesota will win, but I'm going to take the Texans to cover this at +6.
Yeah, if you look at the game logs from Minnesota, and I know you mentioned some of the trends, but not only have they won, about every game in a row dating back to last year, they've covered 10 in a row dating back to last year. But one thing about that, they have not been favored by 6 or more in any of them. They're just really not getting respect from the lines makers. I think maybe now they are a little bit. I think maybe they're starting to notice. I think only one of those 10 they were favored by 6 or more that they covered. But, yeah, they're winning games. They're covering games. That defense is very good, though. I was just watching that Monday night game, and their defense is solid all over the place. And you get them at home like that, and you cannot score on them. I don't know how Houston's going to score on that defense. Gosh, this one's going to be a tough one for me to pick because I'm kind of falling in love with this Minnesota defense a little bit. So I'm going to have to think about this before we get to our quick picks on who I'm going to take. But this should be a heck of a game.
Yeah, it should be a great game. I'm looking forward to that one. And, it's not going to be one of those sexy offensive matchups. This is going to be a slugfest. And that's why I'm siding with Houston, because I think it'll be low scoring. So I think they're going to have a chance to compete in a low scoring game.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. I'm leaning Minnesota, but I'll wait to give my final pick at the end.
Sounds good.
All right. Next game I want to talk about is Atlanta at Denver. So Atlanta is coming in 3-1. Denver's 4-0. Denver as well has not lost against the spread this year. They're coming in 5.5-point favorites in this one. Atlanta has really been putting up some points, and last week they just were a juggernaut. How about Julio Jones putting up 300 yards? That's ridiculous, but I don't think he can do that again against the Denver defense, but and maybe able to put up enough points to hang with Denver, do you think?
Yeah, I mean, Matt Ryan's a top fantasy quarterback so far this season. I mean, he might be the top quarterback in fantasy right now. Now, against Denver could be a little bit difficult. We know about that Denver defense, and this is probably the best team in the league right now. Most ESPN, CBS power rankings have the Broncos at number 1. But again, 5 to 6 points. I think if I could get this at 6, I think I'm looking Atlanta. 5.5, I still think I got to look Atlanta. So I think Atlanta will have a chance to compete in this game. I look for it to be close. Atlanta's going to have to run the football and pass it, so they're going to have to use Devonta Freeman, Tevin Coleman to their liking, and I think Atlanta can cover the spread. I don't know if that's a common theme for me to think all these teams can cover, but I think Denver wins, but Atlanta covers this game.
Yeah, I mean, last year, Atlanta really let me down, and they really did not look like a good team, especially near the end of the season when they were losing. They lost to Tampa Bay. They barely beat Jacksonville, lost to Miami. I mean, they just did not have a good season, and I didn't think they changed a lot this year. So it's kind of baffling me that they're playing so much better this year than they did last year, and they're beating good teams. I mean, they beat Oakland, they beat New Orleans, and they beat Carolina. Who are all three pretty good teams. So I'm just not sure if I'm sold on them to continue doing that. And there's only so many times you can play that well if you're not really that good of a team. So I think Denver is. I think they're legit. I think they are the best team in football. Their defense is there. I don't know. I think I'm going Denver in this one. I think it's time Atlanta comes back down to earth a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, Atlanta, if they can defend, I mean, that's the thing. If they can defend, they should be in decent shape. But again, in this game, Denver is going to defend. So will Matt Ryan avoid turning the ball over? I mean, that's the key. If Matt Ryan doesn't turn the ball over, they're certainly going to compete. So I think I'm going to stick with the Falcons covering this one.
Well, they can't defend. We know that. They've given up 33, 32, 28, and 31 this year. So
yeah, but can Denver score?
Yeah, I don't know. That's going to be a question. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. So it should be a good game. I think I'm leaning Denver in this one, and we'll go from there. Okay, let's move on to Sunday Night Football. We got the New York Giants at the Green Bay Packers. Giants coming off a pretty big loss on Monday Night Football, going at the Green Bay Packers, who had a week off, so should be fresh, should be ready to go. Green Bay is 7.5-point favorites in this game. Do they have what it takes to cover that spread against the Giants at home?
Boy, a lot of drama going on in New York right now. All of a sudden, Odell Beckham Jr. doesn't like football anymore. But yeah, I think I got an ingredient for Odell, and that's get into the end zone and quit punching people, and you might have a chance. But yeah, I mean, the Giants need to get him going. If they get him going, of course, they're going to be competitive. Green Bay has several defensive guys out. I do think he gets in the end zone. I do think he gets going a little bit. And I do think the Giants cover the spread. I don't know what Vegas is doing. They're making all these games where I kind of like the underdog. It's a little bit scary. But I think the Giants are going to need to use a combination of running and passing, but their passing game is going to keep them. I think they'll cover the spread.
Yeah, I think I'm leaning towards them covering as well. I am a little concerned about their running game with several guys banged up or out. So I am a little concerned about that. But if they're able to figure that piece out, then I think they can hang with the Packers, who we always seem to overestimate a little bit. And so I like the Giants too. I'm not real sure about Odell Beckham. I am concerned at the way they're using him and his attitude and all the above. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what to think. I mean, he has been playing some good defenses, and they've really been keying on him. So, yeah, all it's going to take is a deep ball to him and really maybe scheming some things to get him going. And all of a sudden it's all smiles again in New York. So I think that could happen, and I could see them covering this game Sunday night. It's going to be a fun one, though. That should be probably a shootout.
Yeah, I mean, the Giants, I'm not terribly concerned about the Giants' run game because they're not very good at running anyway. I mean, I think they've got to use it a little bit. Of course, Jane Vereen or Rashad Jennings or Orleans Darkwa, whoever the heck's going to be running the football for them, they got to use it a little bit. But, let's be honest, it's going to be Odell Beckham Jr. or Sterling Shepard from Eli Manning. And, if those two get going against the shaky Green Bay defensive backfield, I think New York has a chance to compete. I don't think they win, but I think they have a chance to compete.
Yeah, I agree with you. I like getting the points in that one.
Yep.
Okay, let's move on to Monday Night Football, and it's at this point in the week, it's a little tough to talk about this game. We have Tampa Bay at Carolina. The spread is completely off the board right now. I haven't even seen a spread yet. Have you? I don't think I've seen a spread for this one.
No, I don't even think it's come out yet.
Yeah, I don't think so. I mean, we have so many questions on Carolina's side, and it all revolves around Cam Newton. Is Cam playing? Is he not playing? I don't think that as of now that decision is not out. And once it does, I'll see a spread come out. But regardless, I'm not sure Tampa Bay can play with Carolina. I don't know if you watched that game last week, but when Cam went out, Carolina looked better. Cam was struggling last week.
Yeah.
What do you think about this game?
Yeah, Cam's certainly struggling, and I think another situation with Carolina would be is Jonathan Stewart going to play? Because if he plays, they're certainly even better. And yeah, I mean, I think if you get this game at anything under a touchdown, which I think you will, especially if Cam Newton's out, I think you certainly got to go Carolina here. I guess if Newton's playing it, you could see it at 7.5, 8. I still think Carolina. I don't think Tampa Bay is very good. I mean, they started well, they still can't defend. Jameis Winston struggling. He really only has one, maybe two targets. When the spread comes out, I think really no matter what, I'm probably going with Carolina here, even if it is Derek Anderson at quarterback.
Yeah, I think I'm with you as well. I agree with that. Carolina, they've been disappointing some people, but guess what? They've been losing to some good teams. I mean, they lost to Denver, best team in football. They lost to Minnesota, second best team in football. They lost at Atlanta, who has kind of proven to be one of the top 5 teams in football. When they played a bad team, they won easily. So, they're just losing those tight games against good teams, which they need to win those. But when they play bad teams, I think they roll them. I agree with you. I think Carolina gets on the winning track here and wins this Monday Night Football at home pretty easily. I hope that spread is around 6 or 5. That would be great.
Yeah, I certainly think so. Even if it's, I guess 6.5, 7.5 could be a little bit difficult, but I just don't think the Buccaneers can defend well enough. I mean, they're giving up a lot of points. I mean, Los Angeles went in and scored almost 40 against them. The Broncos, who I don't think are known for a very good offense, scored 27 on them. So, yeah, I just don't think Tampa Bay can guard well enough. I like Carolina, really, regardless of who plays.
Okay, so there you have it. We've talked about some of the big primetime games. Let's jump right into our quick picks, and let's go game by game. No commentary. Let's just give our picks, and let's see if I can get on the winning track this week and try to get about 10 out of. I'm guessing there's 15 or so games. 10 out of 15 is what I'm shooting for. So, all right, let's start Thursday night. We got Arizona minus 3.5 at San Francisco.
I'll take San Francisco at home. The 3.5 I like, and no Carson Palmer, so I'll take San Francisco.
Okay, I'm going to take Arizona. In this one, I think, we've already talked about it, but I'm going to take San Francisco or Arizona.
Okay.
All right. Sunday we got New England minus 10.5 at Cleveland.
That's got to be the Patriots. That's got to be the Patriots minus 10.5. I mean, you get them at 10, 11. I think Patriots win by 2 touchdowns, and I'll take the Patriots.
Ditto. I'm with you. I take the Patriots to win that big and handily. Philadelphia minus 3 at Detroit.
Pretty gross game. I mean, it's a pretty gross game. Eagles are undefeated, but you know what? I think Detroit's going to bounce back at home. I'll take the Lions plus 3 in this one.
Yeah, I will too. This is one of the games that the public's pounding. Public's 70% on Philly. I think Detroit bounces back after that loss against Chicago. So I'm, without saying too much, I'm going to be on the same side as you, and I'm going to take Detroit plus the 3.
Yep.
Chicago plus 4.5 at Indianapolis.
Man, I mean, both these teams aren't very good. I mean, the Bears actually looked pretty good defensively last week. Now they got to go to Indianapolis. I'll take the Colts minus 4.5. I don't love it, but I've been higher on the Colts than many. I'll take the Colts minus 4.5.
I will too. I'll take the Colts as well in this one. Okay, Tennessee plus 3.5 at Miami.
Yeah, if that rain and wind's gone in Miami, we'll see if they even play. But Miami minus 3.5 is my pick.
Wow, we're on the same page this week. That's a little scary. I'm going Miami as well. I like Miami. I hope I can get that at 3. So I'll probably buy that half point to get it to 3.
Yep.
Washington plus 3.5 at Baltimore.
Give me the Redskins. They've won 2 in a row. Baltimore's not as good as their 3-0 start. I'll take that half point helps me. I'll take Washington plus 3.5.
Yeah, I like Washington. I kind of been riding them a lot this year. I like them to cover this game, and given the 3.5, I'm not sold on Baltimore, so I'll take Washington. Houston plus 6 at Minnesota.
I've got to go with Houston. I think this will be a competitive game, low scoring. Low scoring means the underdog covers. I'll take the Texans plus 6.
No, I'm gonna ride Minnesota. I think Minnesota wins, and I'm just gonna think they keep riding that train of covers, that they've led back into last year. So I'll take Minnesota. Jets plus 7.5 at Pittsburgh.
This is a tricky game, but I think Pittsburgh probably does what they did to Kansas City. I mean, Kansas City and the Jets, there's not much difference there, is there? I don't know. I mean, the offenses for both teams. I'll take Pittsburgh minus 7.5. I mean, I'm just going to assume they're going to do what they did to Kansas City.
Yeah, they steamrolled Kansas City, didn't they? And I mean, Fitzpatrick is a turnover machine right now. He is turning the ball over like nobody's business for the Jets. I think Pittsburgh's defense, and talking daily fantasy, that's a decent defense to play this week at home against Fitzpatrick. It's about 5 turnovers waiting to happen. So I'm taking Pittsburgh. I'm taking Pittsburgh as well.
Yep, I think so.
Atlanta plus 5.5 at Denver.
Give me the Falcons. I'll take the Falcons to cover this one. I think it'll be close. I'm not sure Denver can score enough to blow them out. I'll take the Falcons plus 5.5.
Okay, I'll take Denver minus 5.5. Will be opposite a couple games here. All right, Cincinnati minus 1 at Dallas.
I'll keep up Dak Mania and take the Cowboys at home. Obviously a money line game. 1 point or money line. Might as well take the money line. I'll take the Cowboys in this one as they moved to 4-1. One of the surprise teams. I'll take Dallas.
Yeah, they're playing well, and I like them at home. I'm going to take Dallas as well. Okay, we got Buffalo plus 2 at the Rams at L.A.
Kind of one of those games that most people might overlook, but you got a couple of the hotter teams in the NFL here. I mean, Buffalo's won 2 in a row. Rams have won 3 in a row. I'll take the Rams. They're minus 2. They're in L.A. I'll take them to win this game.
Yeah, I'll take them as well. I mean, Buffalo has been surprising me the last 2 weeks, though. I didn't think they were any good, and then they've looked really good the last 2 weeks. This is going to be a defensive game. That over-under is at 40. That's a pretty low spread, but I think that's probably going to stay under that. It's 2 defensive teams, so I'm taking the Rams, though, minus the 2 at home. I like the home field there.
Yeah, I can see 2017.
Okay, San Diego plus 4 at Oakland.
Got to go Oakland here. Oakland's 3-1. San Diego's finding ways every week to lose. I wish it was 3, but I'll take it at 4. I like the Raiders.
I like the Raiders as well. San Diego's banged up. They had a good start to the season with their big win, but they're really banged up, and on the road they're not the same team. I like Oakland to pound them.
Yep.
Okay, Giants plus 7.5 at Green Bay.
Got to go with the Giants. I think they'll be competitive. Green Bay has some injury concerns on the defense. Odell Beckham Jr. finally gets in the end zone. I'll take the Giants plus 7.5.
Okay, and then we'll end up, and I'm going to throw a spread on this. We're going to say Carolina minus 7.5. So we got Tampa Bay at Carolina minus 7.5.
I'll take Carolina.
Yeah,
I'll take Carolina.
I will too. I'm going to take Carolina as well. So who knows what that spread will be, but you know what? We got to have something out here. So, well, there we go. We only have maybe a couple that were different on this week.
Yeah, I know. I don't know if that's scary. It means we're going to both lose those games or not. But, yeah, some interesting games. Some good teams playing good teams, some bad teams playing bad teams. So I'm really looking forward to week 5 of the NFL already.
Yep, me as well. So that's all I have this week. We appreciate you guys listening. Thanks a lot. It means a lot to us. So if we actually are out on iTunes now. If you head out to noobsports.com/iTunes, you can find that'll bring you directly there, so you can subscribe on iTunes and never miss an episode of this Noob Sports podcast. So that's knupsports.com/iTunes. We also do a ton on social media, so we're always out on Twitter, Facebook, and some of the live video, some of the live platforms that are out there as well. So we'd love to meet you out there, talk to you, talk sports, get you started. If you haven't started with daily fantasy or with betting, we can help you kind of get your bearings straight and start with that as well. So Rod, thank you for joining, and good luck this week, man.
Sounds good. I'm looking forward to it, and make sure you check out the college podcast as well.
Yeah, we'll put a link to that in the show notes that's out on the website. We'll put a link to that along with all of our picks here that we have. And then, like I said, we have a play of the day, and we'd love to get you on that list as well. So thanks for listening. Have a great weekend, and we'll talk to you guys next week. All right, Rod. Talk to you later.
Sounds good.
Thanks for listening to this episode of the Noob Sports Show. If you enjoyed this podcast, please consider subscribing to our iTunes channel today. Plus, visit us at noobsports.com for more picks, previews, strategy, and news. That's knupsports.com.